In 2021, a pivotal moment unfolded in global geopolitics. Iran and China signed a 25-year strategic pact. This agreement signaled a potential power shift away from the West. It also highlighted the growing ties between two ancient civilizations. This pact is not merely a bilateral agreement, it represents a calculated move by both nations. They seek to reshape the existing global order. The implications of this partnership are far-reaching. They span economic, military, and geopolitical domains. This pact has sent ripples of concern through Western capitals. The United States in particular views this development with suspicion. The European Union is also carefully analyzing the potential consequences. The deal marks a new chapter in international relations. It is a testament to the evolving dynamics of a multipolar world. At the heart of the Iran-China Pact lies a deep economic strategy, meticulously crafted to benefit both nations in the long run. China, with its insatiable appetite for energy, sees Iran as a vital partner. The vast energy resources of Iran are a perfect match for China's growing industrial and domestic needs. Iran possesses the world's second-largest natural gas reserves and the fourth-largest proven oil reserves. These reserves are not just numbers, they represent a significant opportunity for energy security and economic growth. This is a significant attraction for energy-hungry China. The country's rapid industrialization and urbanization have led to an ever-increasing demand for energy, making Iran's resources incredibly valuable. The agreement outlines massive Chinese investments in Iran. These investments are not limited to the energy sector but span across various critical areas. These investments target key sectors like energy, infrastructure, and telecommunications. By focusing on these areas, the pact aims to modernize Iran's economy and create a more robust and interconnected infrastructure. China gains a secure and stable source of energy. This stability is crucial for sustaining its economic growth and ensuring that its industries continue to thrive without energy shortages. Iran, in return, receives much-needed foreign investment and economic support. This influx of capital is expected to rejuvenate its economy, create jobs, and improve the standard of living for its citizens. A key element of the deal is the revitalization of the ancient Silk Road. This historic trade route, which once connected the East and West, is being reimagined for the modern era. This will involve modernizing transportation networks and building new infrastructure. The goal is to create seamless connectivity that facilitates trade and movement of goods. This includes high-speed railways and deep-sea ports. These projects are designed to enhance the efficiency of trade routes and reduce transportation costs. This ambitious project aims to facilitate trade and connectivity between Asia, Europe, and Africa. By improving these connections, the Pact seeks to create a more integrated and prosperous economic region. It positions Iran as a crucial hub in this network. With its strategic location, Iran is set to become a central player in global trade, linking various continents and fostering economic growth. The military dimension of the Iran-China Pact has sparked considerable debate. This agreement, which has been in the making for several years, signifies a strategic shift in the balance of power in the Middle East. Analysts are closely watching how this partnership will unfold and what it means for regional stability. While the exact details remain undisclosed, the agreement is believed to include provisions for military cooperation. This cooperation could range from sharing advanced military technology to conducting joint military operations. The secrecy surrounding the pact has only fueled speculation and concern among global powers. This could involve arms sales, joint training exercises, and intelligence sharing. The potential for these activities to enhance Iran's military capabilities is significant. Joint training exercises in particular could lead to a more synchronized and effective military force, capable of responding to regional threats with greater precision. This burgeoning military partnership has raised concerns in the West and among some of Iran's neighbors. Countries like Saudi Arabia and Israel are particularly wary of the implications. They fear that a stronger Iran, backed by Chinese military support, could alter the power dynamics in the region. The potential for an arms race in an already volatile region is a significant worry. An increase in military spending and the acquisition of advanced weaponry could lead to heightened tensions and a greater likelihood of conflict. The international community is urging restraint, but the situation remains precarious. There are also concerns that increased Chinese military influence could embolden Iran. With China's backing, Iran might feel more confident in pursuing its regional ambitions, potentially leading to more aggressive policies. This could include expanding its influence in neighboring countries and supporting proxy groups. This could further destabilize the region. The Middle East is already plagued by numerous conflicts and political instability. The introduction of a new military alliance could exacerbate these issues, leading to more violence and suffering for the people living there. The United States in particular sees this military cooperation as a direct challenge to its military dominance in the region. For decades, the U.S. has maintained a significant military presence in the Middle East, aimed at ensuring stability and protecting its interests. The Iran-China Pact threatens to undermine this position. The presence of Chinese naval forces in the Persian Gulf would be a significant development. It would mark the first time that China has established a substantial military presence in this strategically vital waterway. This move could disrupt the current balance of power and lead to increased naval confrontations. It could reshape the regional security architecture. The Persian Gulf is a critical choke point for global oil supplies, and any changes in its security dynamics could have far-reaching implications. Countries that rely on these oil shipments are closely monitoring the situation. The pact has undoubtedly added a new layer of complexity to an already intricate geopolitical landscape. As world leaders grapple with the implications, the future of the Middle East hangs in the balance. The coming years will be crucial in determining whether this partnership leads to greater stability or further turmoil. Iran's economic prospects, a catalyst for growth. The Iran-China Pact holds the potential to significantly alter Iran's economic trajectory. For years, Iran has grappled with economic stagnation and international isolation. This was primarily due to Western-led sanctions. The pact offers a lifeline to Iran's struggling economy. Chinese investments in infrastructure, energy and technology could revitalize key sectors of the Iranian economy. The agreement could create jobs, boost economic growth, and improve living standards for ordinary Iranians. This, in turn, could strengthen the Iranian government's domestic standing. However, challenges remain. Iran needs to address issues like corruption, bureaucracy, and a lack of transparency. These factors could hinder the effective implementation of the agreement and limit its potential benefits. The success of the pact in reviving Iran's economy will depend on both internal reforms and external factors. Geopolitical tremors, regional responses, and realignments. The Iran-China Pact has sent shockwaves through the Middle East. Regional powers are reassessing their alliances and strategic calculations. The pact has further exacerbated existing rivalries and tensions. Saudi Arabia, Iran's regional rival, views the pact with considerable apprehension. The Saudis are concerned about Iran's growing influence and its potential to upset the regional balance of power. The United Arab Emirates and other Gulf states are also closely monitoring the situation. Israel, which views Iran as an existential threat, is deeply concerned about the military dimensions of the pact. The potential for Iran to acquire advanced weaponry with Chinese assistance is a major worry for Israeli policymakers. The pact has injected a new element of uncertainty into an already volatile region. The petro-yuan's rise, challenging the dollar's dominance. The Iran-China Pact has far-reaching implications for the global financial system. This agreement is not just a simple bilateral trade deal, it represents a strategic alignment that could reshape the economic landscape. By forging closer ties, Iran and China are signaling a shift in their economic policies and a challenge to the existing financial order dominated by the US dollar. One of the most significant aspects of the agreement is the potential shift away from the US dollar in bilateral trade. Traditionally, the US dollar has been the currency of choice for international transactions, especially in the oil market. However, this new pact could pave the way for the Chinese yuan, or renminbi, to take on a more prominent role in global trade. There is speculation that oil transactions between Iran and China could be settled in Chinese yuan, or renminbi. This move would not only strengthen the economic ties between the two nations, but also reduce their dependency on the US dollar. Such a shift could have a ripple effect, encouraging other countries to consider similar arrangements. This has the potential to undermine the dominance of the US dollar as the global reserve currency. The US dollar's status as the world's primary reserve currency has given the United States significant economic advantages, including lower borrowing costs and greater influence over global financial markets. A move towards the petro-yuan could challenge this status quo. The petrodollar system, which has been in place since the 1970s, has given the United States tremendous economic and geopolitical leverage. This system, established during the oil crisis of the 1970s, ensured that oil-producing countries would sell their oil in US dollars, thereby creating a constant demand for the currency. This arrangement has been a cornerstone of U.S. economic policy for decades. A shift towards the petro-yuan, even if gradual, would have profound implications for the global financial order. It would signal a redistribution of economic power and could lead to increased volatility in currency markets. Financial institutions and investors would need to adapt to a new reality where the US dollar is no longer the undisputed king of global finance. It could reduce the effectiveness of US sanctions, which are often enforced through the dollar-denominated financial system. US sanctions rely heavily on the global dominance of the dollar, as they can restrict access to the US financial system for targeted countries. A move towards alternative currencies like the yuan could weaken this tool of economic statecraft. This could embolden countries like Iran to act more assertively on the world stage. With reduced reliance on the US dollar, these nations might feel less constrained by US economic policies and more empowered to pursue their own strategic interests. This shift could lead to a more multipolar world, with multiple centers of economic and geopolitical power. As we look towards the future, the Iran-China Pact stands as a monumental development with both promising prospects and significant challenges. This strategic partnership has the potential to alter the geopolitical and economic landscape in ways that are both profound and far-reaching. The collaboration between Iran and China opens the door to substantial economic growth and development. With China's investments in Iranian infrastructure, energy, and technology, there is a real opportunity for Iran to modernize its economy and improve the quality of life for its citizens. This influx of capital and expertise could help Iran overcome decades of economic stagnation and international isolation. However, the road ahead is fraught with challenges. The geopolitical ramifications of this alliance will undoubtedly provoke reactions from other global powers, particularly the United States. The US has long maintained a policy of economic sanctions against Iran, and this new partnership could lead to increased tensions and a re-evaluation of its strategy in the Middle East. Moreover, China's involvement in Iran is not without its risks. The volatile political climate in the region, coupled with Iran's complex internal dynamics, could pose significant obstacles to the successful implementation of their agreements. There is also the question of how other regional players, such as Saudi Arabia and Israel, will respond to this burgeoning alliance. For China, the partnership with Iran is part of its broader Belt and Road initiative, aimed at expanding its influence and economic reach across Asia and beyond. While the benefits of this initiative are clear, it also requires navigating a complex web of international relations and potential conflicts. The future of the Iran-China Pact will depend on the ability of both nations to manage these challenges and capitalize on the opportunities presented. It is a delicate balancing act that will require careful diplomacy, strategic foresight, and a willingness to adapt to an ever-changing global landscape. As the world watches this partnership unfold, one thing is certain: the Iran-China Pact is a game-changer. It has the potential to reshape not only the Middle East, but also the global order. The coming years will be crucial in determining whether this alliance will fulfill its promise or become another chapter in the long history of geopolitical rivalries. As the Iran-China partnership progresses, its global implications become increasingly apparent. This alliance is more than a regional development. It's a strategic maneuver that could redefine international relations and global power dynamics. Firstly, the economic ramifications are vast. China's Belt and Road initiative, now bolstered by Iran's strategic location and resources, could accelerate the shift of global economic power towards the east. This partnership may well be a cornerstone in the creation of a new economic corridor linking Asia, Europe, and Africa, thereby challenging the traditional dominance of Western economies. From a geopolitical perspective, the Iran-China Pact represents a significant realignment. For the United States and its allies, this development poses a direct challenge to their influence in the Middle East. The potential for increased tensions and strategic recalibrations cannot be understated. The US may find itself compelled to forge new alliances or reinforce existing ones to counterbalance the growing Iran-China axis. Moreover, this partnership could influence the global energy market. With China investing heavily in Iran's energy sector, there could be shifts in global energy supply chains. This could impact global oil prices and alter the economic landscape for energy importing and exporting nations alike. The Iran-China alliance also has significant implications for international diplomacy. As Iran becomes more integrated into China's global strategy, it may find new avenues for circumventing Western sanctions. This could weaken the efficacy of such sanctions as a tool of international policy, prompting a re-evaluation of diplomatic strategies worldwide. In the realm of technology and military cooperation, the partnership might lead to advancements that could shift the balance of power. Joint ventures in technology, cybersecurity, and defense could provide both nations with enhanced capabilities, challenging the technological edge traditionally held by Western powers. The global community will undoubtedly keep a close watch on the unfolding dynamics of this partnership. The Iran-China alliance has the potential to reshape not only regional but also global structures of power, economics, and diplomacy. In conclusion, the Iran-China Pact is not just a bilateral agreement, it's a strategic alliance with far-reaching global implications. Its success or failure will be a pivotal factor in determining the future trajectory of international relations and global power structures. The world stands at the precipice of a new era, one shaped by the evolving dynamics of the Iran-China partnership.